2 months after the President Bola Tinubu submitted 47.9 trillion naira to the National Assembly and jacking it up to 54.2 trillion naira last week, lawmakers reconvened to consider the report of the committees on appropriation following weeks of budget defense sessions.
This is committed to the Committee of the Whole for conclusion.
First, the upper chamber dissolves into an executive session to finalize talks on the budget of restoration, securing peace and rebuilding prosperity, before it is then submitted by the Chairman Joint Committee on Appropriations, Senator Adiola Olamilekun.
Having worked in harmony with the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation and the subcommittee of the two chambers, the Senate do consider and approve a bill for an act to authorize the issuance from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 54,990,165,355,396. The President took proactive measure and made a new provision of $200 million, which is equivalent to about 300 billion naira in the service-wide vote to fill the gap created by the United States government. Suspension of the intervention to the global health sector.
The breakdown includes significant allocations for capital expenditure totaling 23.96 trillion naira, 14.32 trillion naira for debt servicing, 13.64 trillion naira for recurrent expenditure, 3.65 trillion for statutory transfers, and 13.08 trillion naira for fiscal deficit, with a 1.52% deficit to GDP ratio. Despite a further increase of 746 billion naira, some lawmakers are dissatisfied, citing the absence of some critical projects.
I sponsored a motion here, co-sponsored by 35 senators from this corridor, on the need to construct standard gauge rail from Port Harcourt through Aba, Makurdi to Maiduguri. We waited, the breakdown came out, and that rail line has zero allocation. You have to intervene. The presidency has opportunity for supplementary appropriation. Anytime he brings a request here, this Senate will consider it.
The same discontent reverberates in the House of Representatives during the consideration of the bill.
Report of the Committee on Appropriations on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 54,990 billion.
The bill is subsequently passed in the Green Chamber. The harmonized appropriation bill also skills third reading in the upper chamber.
The motion is on the floor. Those in support of the motion that this appropriation bill 2025 be read a third time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. This bill is read a third time and passed. And I hope that this appropriation bill will contribute to moving Nigeria forward and will assist Mr. President in his renewed hope agenda to renew the hope of Nigerians in all facets of life.
The chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations explains the reason for the departure from the established January to December cycle in a separate briefing.
What happened last year as a result of change in pattern, because we now have a new DG budget who's still observing the system and the process of how to go about this. But I can assure you, this time around is going to be different. The budget for 2026, the preparation will start as early as July of this year. Then we can expect, latest by October, the appropriation bill for 2026.
He clarifies that the nation is currently running only two budgets, the 2024 budget capital, which has been extended to June 2025, and the recently passed 2025 budget. Meanwhile, against the backdrop of recent concerns surrounding the alleged missing firearms, the Inspector General of Police has vowed to launch full investigation into the matter. He's also appealed to the Senate to, from now on, hold further hearings on such matters he considers critical and sensitive behind closed doors. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.